Welcome back to Relationship Wednesday again 2.0, where every week we explore the dichotomy of the relationships between humans. This is part 3. If you missed 1 and 2, go back and rewind that back, catch up on it so you know where we coming from here. Right? So we talking about love and how Jesus did great things to show love to people. But to bring it over to 21st century America, just a simple fact. Nowadays, of telling somebody the reason you always have a headache every other day is because you never drink enough water. The deliverance that comes from that, so irreplaceable. But even in that little bit of advice is the kind of love Jesus always moves towards. Even when people celebrated Jesus as being king in Matthew chapter 21. Right? Remember, he rode in on a donkey to Jerusalem. They threw the palm branches on the ground. Right? Actually, John chapter 12 is what tell us that what kind of branches they are. But they threw branches and they closed in front of Jesus. He rode the donkey. That was the multitudes recognizing him as the Messiah and King of Israel. Because that's what the Messiah is, a king. Even when he was made king, he went in Jerusalem. What was the first act as king? There's some good Bible trivia right here. What was the first action Jesus did after being recognized as king and Messiah? In verse 12 and 13, it says, "And Jesus went to the temple of God and cast out all them that sold and bought in the temple and overthrew the tables of the money changers and the seats of them that sold doves, and said unto them, It is written, My house shall be called a house of prayer, but you made it a den of thieves." So it is the takeover, right? Continuing in verse 14, what happens after the king symbolically takes his home and his throne? It say, "And the blind and the lame came into the temple and he healed them." Jesus back doing what he do, showing love to his subjects, right? But what about his enemies though? Because everybody was not happy. Verse 15 say, "When the chief priests and the scribes saw the wonderful things he did, and the children crying in the temple and saying, Hosanna, son of David, they were sore displeased." So the first thing Jesus did after being recognized as king was overthrow the tables in the temple, making enemies out of all the leadership of Israel. But then what did he do? Instead of destroying them all like a normal king, he lived out his message of love. Love for your enemies even, and allowed them to crush him without retaliation. So much love that while they was killing their only hope at life, the life giver said in Luke 23, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what the heck they doing." I'm just saying. First, he told you what love is, then he showed you what love is. This is why Apostle John wrote in 1 John 4, 7 and 8, "Beloved, let us love one another, for love is of God, and everyone that love is born of God and knows God. He that knoweth not knoweth not love, knoweth not God, for God is love." Thanks for watching. Don't forget to share. See y'all next week. R-Dub.